And welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to start week number 3 here at the North American ESL Pro League. The season is continuing, of course, and our next match here is going to be Winterfox taking on NRG. We do apologize for the little bit of a delay with getting things started. It's Tuesday, so Steam is down as per usual. We were just waiting for it to come back up. We believe it's up now, though, so the game should be getting started at any moment. But before the break, we were talking about Winterfox. Now, though, we can open up discussion a little bit more on NRG. Where do you see them fitting in now? Because they're a bit of an odd team after the departure of the Europeans as they went back to form big a couple months back.
I think we'll really see where they're going to end up in the standings in these next few weeks. I don't think they're one of those teams that's just going to win 10 matches in a row or anything like that. So I'm expecting them to be like right outside the playoff spot, maybe taking an upset here or there, ruining someone's chances of getting playoffs. Like if they play Cloud9, for instance, maybe they win a map off them, you know, or something like that. But having said that, we are going live. So I think you know, 7th, 8th place, something like that, just right outside playoffs by a couple matches.
All right, well, we are getting into it here now. Winterfox starting off on the T side for Cash, and NRG going over to the CT side. It's the North American hallmark in terms of a map play here, and immediately things will start off very interestingly. Marky trying to hold off here inside of A main, possibly going to challenge Zeusy in a moment here, but it seems they avoid that for right now, and Marky, for the most part, is just going to fall back over to the bomb site. Very evenly split up here across the board for NRG, just doing the usual 2-1-2 split. They're not trying to play retake on A or anything like that. And for the most part, Winterfox holding back and basically the default too, but APOC finds an opportunity to move in there and do some decent damage to Dab. So cross the threshold, move forward there, brings him down to 19 HP, but no significant ground gain, and he doesn't seem like he's going to move forward actually into mid until just now when he does go down into the cubby. And it seems for the most part, Daps has given up there too. He's backed up. He's gone to defend the B-bomb site, but this may prove to be a mistake, because for the most part, Winterfox are going to look in just a few seconds here to try and crunch this over to the A site. So those rotations from B need to be very quickly, otherwise the site may get overwhelmed, since most of NRG's defenses here towards A are still playing in the site. And we can see Breezy looking to challenge that beautiful headshot, but now he's being challenged from highway, so he's got to be careful. Unfortunately, the damage was done too quickly, so Zeusy trades him out, but still brought down to a 4v4, and Peter destroys APOC because he tries to get sneaky there inside of Z. Marky racking up 2 kills as well against Offnu and Zeusy, so it all falls to Raz to clutch 1v4. Beautiful shot to start things off, but there's still a lot more to go, and unfortunately, we're not going to get any farther than that. Daps closes it out, and it'll be NRG that claimed the pistol.
Yeah, and Winterfox not only got into the site, but put into a 4v4 with one of the players gooshed on NRG, so you definitely favor them there. I think they maybe just started pushing towards the truck, got a little bit too aggro, and ended up dying that way. Not 100% sure, but Winterfox definitely were in position to win that round. When they were crossing, they got caught out. But having said that, the reason Daps moved towards B is because he was gooshed, so he wanted to play a headshot angle, which is pretty intelligent in that aspect. So he moves to B, gets that headshot angle. He says, hey, if they come B, pretty much like a 100 HP player almost, right? You see that commonly on this map, and we used to see it on Dust 2, though it's not in the rotation anymore. If you get legged or something, you just go back flat to B.
Well, Winterfox still go for the usual investment that we've started to see become more commonplace here in the second round. Just P250 is a little bit of utility to try to get them out onto a bomb site and find another plant to work with. But a lot of utility has pretty much already been used up. You can see there's still one flashbang sitting on Raz, but they also lost APOC in the process. Breezy claiming that kill. Offnu is going to try his chances here in mid right now. He spots Daps, but the timing on it's a little bit off, so he's not able to pick up the shot directly there. And again, just holding back, waiting to see if he can grab anyone else. And passing the time beyond that, as Winterfox for the most part are still set up in that default pattern we've come to know so much. As we see Raz trying to peek up towards A main, Fugly is going to take him down there. Finally, Offnu finds the shot he was looking for, though. He'll eliminate Peter, and now this goes in with 3-on-3. Again, though, Winterfox have no control to bargain for these trades.
Yeah, a little bit of frag hungry there by PTR. Just you're giving them what they want in that aspect, right? As they do come out A, and they might be able to get bombed down. Nice shot by Marky, but another 1D by Offnu. And if he can get bombed down and plant, I don't think he's going to be able to, because Fugly's right on his case. And yeah, so he gets stopped. They need to get in the site a couple seconds earlier. Fortunate for Winterfox that they're not able to do that, but they are going to be able to buy here. They did get bomb plant in that second round. And that's really, you know, what a lot of teams do. They buy a couple deagles, they get somebody on the boost on Cash, maybe somebody door, and they literally just wait for like a minute, just holding like a tiny angle, peeking in and out, just seeing if they're going to give them anything. Winterfox actually opts to save, so that's very odd. I definitely don't really agree with that. NRG very smart there. If you notice, they didn't smoke middle. They wanted to Pete because Pete was holding it with an off.
Pete, because of that, will be able to claim the first kill already here against Raz. Also lines up the angle against Imagine, but he is back away from that boost up position there, so he will not be caught up by Peter there and giving him a second kill. For the most part here, Winterfox, they've shifted up the dynamic a little bit by going for a B play over here, but even so, the defenses are pretty well set up at this point. There's no smoke over there on the T side to allow them to safely cross T main, so for the most part, they're kind of going to get ripped to shreds unless they can get lucky and pick up a couple headshots here. They got one, but it's not the full kill yet against Breezy, and he's just found two nice taps there to be able to pick up headshots against two more of the players from Winterfox, and Dax will just roll right in with the SMG to finish the job, putting NRG up to 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0. They got considerable banks, so they're going to have to win 2 in a row, Winterfox is, if they want to break them. They do have a really, really good buy, though. Op onto Raz, 4 AKs, Molotovs across the board. So we'll see what they opt to do this round. You know, NRG with a pretty economical buy. They still have the ump on Daps and Breeze on a FAMAS.
Raz is actually going to, well, he wanted to anyway, try to go for the quick peek there in mid, but it's denied pretty early on by a smoke and a flashbang, so he'll be held back. And beyond this, again, it's what you normally expect for the T-sides on Cash. Winterfox is not going to be trying anything super crazy in this round, just the default spread up. Raz will look for the kill back over here on Boost Up, back by Whitebox. He hasn't gone for the peek against Z just yet, but it's kind of the same thing for Peter. He's only watching for the garage push, not really wanting to give himself away to someone who would have already been boosted up on top here where Raz is currently positioned.
This is generally a T-sided angle. So if they battle in Z, you should expect Raz to win this fight. NRG just in a 2-1-2. Very, very default by them, and they have a lot of utility still. You know, there's a minute 5 in the round, and they still have 4 Molotovs, 3 smokes, and a ton of flashbangs.
We're going to see some of this used to move out and grab that mid control. They'll deny Peter access to the mid area for right now, which means Winterfox are going to get a whole lot of control. And while the NRG guys won't know exactly, we'll get that back in a second there, won't know exactly how to catch some of this. But as we do see the guys from Winterfox moving out here, most of them do end up wrapping back over inside of A main. And we can see Peter actually transitioning over to Truck. So NRG do have the pretty good read up, but the problem is, again, there's only 3 stacked. They're going to have a fast 2-player rotate over. Fugly getting aggressive, though, and it's good because he spotted the play out from A main. They haven't seen the bomb just yet, but Marky, again, chiming in with 2 kills, and I believe that was the bomb as well. Zusi will trade 1 into Marky, but now Apoc sneaking in from Highway. He'll stop Fugly from being able to do any more additional damage for right now. Raz found a kill. Problem is Apoc wasn't spotted, but Raz bailing out Apoc big time there, finds the frag on a Breezy, and now it goes down to Daps to clutch. The good news is, though, he's got both Apoc and Raz very, very low, and he's also got a smoke to try and get a free cross over here if he wants to try and push further into the site and then wrap around towards Raz. Playing it safe for now, though, hoping he can get someone a little bit over-aggressive and being able to punish. That gets the angle, but again, this is at long range, so he's got to be cautious against Raz. Gets him in the open, but the shots aren't there, and Raz will close out to give Winterfox control of the first gun round.
Yeah, and Marky makes it 3v5 with those 2 kills right off the bat on both those players coming out of door. Unlucky not getting the third. That player turned from the flash at the perfect time. But Winterfox, just Raz coming out, getting a nice 3K while they came through that smokes. But that was a really good mid take by Winterfox. It was mid-round. They smoked Z. They mollied the sandbags. They got out of the boost. They did everything really properly. There wasn't much concern for me that they would get stopped there, even if NRG was probably playing middle. Now they put themselves in a good position because if they win this round, NRG is going to be on a save, and they could, you know, go 3-3 pretty easily. For
right now, though, NRG's still back in the buy game, a little bit limited on utility when you look at players like Marky and Fugly, but thankfully due to the passive playstyle we've been seeing from Winterfox so far, they more than likely are not going to do a whole lot to try and bait some of this out early on here from the NRG side of things. They shouldn't have to worry too much about running low unless there's a change up in the play style from Winterfox. And again, same as the last round, they are still playing to that default. You tend to expect 2 players watching for the wide flanks over in the B halls and Squeaky, and 3 more sort of corralling around the mid garage boost up in A main area here. And we can see Raz checking forward again. There'll be no presence in mid this time from NRG, or at least it'll be shifting around a little bit. You can see Peter moving himself out there, but it's Imagine on the peak that will find the initial kill against Marky. Fugly there for a trade, though. That'll be the end of combat for right now, as most of Winterfox actually falling back since Ofnu got mid control for free, and it seems like they may change the dynamic up to go for a B hit instead. But even over there, you've got Breezy and Daps ready to defend the site, so it's not going to be as easy to take as they would have looked towards. Yeah, and Winterfox, as soon as they heard that flashbang, they needed to stop this. Instead, NRG has 3 people towards B, Fugly holding the back, and this should be a very, very easy round for NRG to close out. Peter already catching APOC there too on a wide peek out through T main. They will actually, I think they wasted a second smoke of covering off towards CT main over there as well. And yeah, as you mentioned, very easy cleanup overall here. Breezy finding 2 kills and Daps with the 3rd. Only losing Marky along the way there due to the chaos on A, but very clean. And they traded up, resetting the losing bonus for Winterfox and pretty much immediately putting them onto an eco here. We may see a couple pistols picked up because APOC and Imagine have a bit of cash, but that should be it.
Yeah, a very crucial, important round. And whenever you hear that pop flash come out from A main when you're falling back, it's a clear sign that they cleared it out, right? And that they probably have the info, and you have to play for that. Instead, they don't get that sound cue. They don't realize that they go towards a stack at B, and that's one of the reasons why flash pushing A main is so strong. As Winterfox does a little bit of a slight buy here. They not sure how much money they exactly spent, but enough to possibly win this round as they're going to do a door pop.
And NRG actually, again, playing for a retake on this site too, so they're going to let them flood back in. Strong chance for Winterfox at the very least to get them the plant to give them the extra cash heading into the next round, but nice shot from Zeusy. Marky finding 1, but again, being traded out very, very quickly after he picks up that kill. Now Fugly looking to challenge, but due to the utility they picked up, there's not a whole lot to be seen currently. Winterfox actually fairly safe. Unfortunately, when it does come to the gun battle, this is where Winterfox are going to run into some trouble. Unfortunate timing from Raz as he does end up running back outside of A main with his knife in hand. That'll be an easy shutdown for Breezy, and now it goes down to a 4v2. APOC getting pre-fired a little bit there, down to 41. Upnu, where are your shots at? He can't hit anything from back over here. Breezy already finding 1. Upnu, nice connection on the Fugly, but unfortunately, it's not going to lead to much else. Peter will immediately take him back down, and it's NRG up to 5.
Yeah, 5-1, and they have a nice little bank account in the reserve, so they're going to be able to buy, even if they lose one of these rounds. Winterfox is going to have to win 2 in a row to break them, and they don't even have much money. But what I was saying earlier is that when you pop flash A main like that, it kind of gives you 2 win conditions, right? If that player gets the kills, say it's like, even if it's 50-50, right? When you pop flash in A main, like 35 seconds or whatever, when they did it, yeah, it's like 50-50 if he gets the kills. But if he doesn't see them and you overplay the other site, that's like a win condition as well, right? So not only do you have the 50-50 where he gets the kills and he performs really well when he gets pop flash, but you also have the win condition that they're going back to the other site, and then you overplay that other site, like with what we saw.
Winterfox again spreading out into their default pattern, a little bit heavier on A this time, however, so more than likely going to see them try to push into there. Zeusy goes for a very wide peek out against Peter instead of Z, misses the connection on the Deagle, and that spells a very quick death for him. Down to a 5v4, and APOC going back into the B halls now to try and reinvestigate what exactly is happening, but in the meantime, the other 3 are still set up to enter here into the A-bomb site, and NRG want nothing to do with the front battle on this one. They don't want to get overwhelmed by a big clump of Winterfox players. They're, again, sitting back over here on Highway and Truck, mainly just playing to pick them off as they do push their way into the site, which they'll go for now, but Imagine just decking Peter down out of absolutely nowhere. Marky, though, catching 1 trade. Unfortunately, he has been able to stop the bomb from crossing it off in his hands, so he will get the plant. And keep in mind, too, you still have this player on B, but Daps, smart to him, he does watch out for that possible flank and takes him back down. Again, though, as they get onto the site and as they get into the post plant, this gun power is just certainly not enough to make anything happen, and Breezy will finish things off with a kill onto Raz. Yeah,
and I mean, this is pretty dominant so far. Winterfox is, I think, very economically, safe buys are kind of hurting them because they're, getting these deagles, they're getting these smokes and flashes and stuff like that. Like, if you think about it, if they didn't do that round before with the smokes, flashes, Molotovs, and a couple deagles, they would have been able to buy that round, right? So I think a little confusion in when they're buying and when they're supposed to buy is kind of hurting them. Again, on that 3rd round, I think they should have bought when they saved. Instead, they get fully bought out and let them win that round pretty cleanly. NRG did. So their buys are like very passive, right? And I think when you're the underdog, I don't really agree with that. I think if you're the underdog, you want to buy more aggressively. You want to take the chance at winning one of those big swing rounds, because it really, if you're an underdog and you win both pistols and a swing round, or you win 1 pistol and like 2 swing rounds, or a swing round and an anti-eco, you could definitely win. But you are the underdog, so you don't want to be so passive like they are with their buys.
NRG have put a bit more of a focus this time over here on mid to defend it, since there's been a large focus on Winterfox actually to be able to take that mid control. We see Breezy boosted up inside of the vents, and I think they have 1 or 2 players also playing out towards Highway. Right now it's just 1, but Peter's kind of been shifting all over the place between Truck and Z, so large chance he may end up going back into Z to also watch out for that. Right now he's actually bypassing it and heading up towards Heaven, but in the meantime, Winterfox still sitting at the cusp of the B-bomb site. They'll have to watch out for Breezy and Daps both playing inside. It's a great flashbang, but there's no follow-up currently. There we go. Daps pushing himself back in, and Breezy. That molly, thankfully, just short of pushing him completely outside, where he almost would have been taken down by one of the members of Winterfox here. So doing a great job of holding back this push, and Winterfox is getting no ground at all, and they don't seem to have the confidence to want to push through due to the heavy presence from NRG. They have no choices left, and are running out of time as well, so they do have to try to push into this. APOC getting up to the close corner, but Breezy sees that flashbang from a mile away. It's an easy frag for him to sink. Down will go APOC. Dap spotting more than pushing in. Imagine does sneak off that one kill, as will Raz, but at the end of the day, again, it's left down to him alone in the 1v3, and he's even getting tagged through the garage here. Very little hope at all for him to get into this site. They've even got the bomb sitting down. Spots that one player, does pick up the first kill, but Marky swings right out to catch the trade.
Yeah, and really most of these rounds haven't been close. I mean, even the round they won, right, it was a 3v5 where Marky got the double entry that they won. So it's been just all NRG just stomping on. How cool would it have been if like they did the Immortals molly thing at checkers. I don't remember if you've seen that, but they molly the back checkers, they molly middle checkers, they molly underneath vents, and they molly vents. So anybody in that vicinity just toasts, right? And they had 2 players there, so that would have been crazy. But instead, you know, obviously they just ended up losing the round. But I was like hoping for it because they were set up so perfectly. Unfortunately, it didn't come though.
Yeah, that would have torn it to shreds pretty quickly there too. So the only other thing that would have had to defend the site was that guy on the guy up on platform, and then possible rotation from Peter.
I believe it's Immortals that does that, right? We casted them and they were doing that, and it's awesome. Like, yeah, I think it's so clever.
Well, Winterfox, they still have a bit of cash flow left, so they were able to scrape together a buy here. It's 4 AKs and a Tech 9 sitting on one of their players, but as you can see, it runs the cash pretty much on empty here. And they've got enough smokes and whatnot to try and work for an execute here. Also 2 Molotovs, so it's, again, at the end of the day, it's not actually too bad of a buy. NRG, though, they are getting to a dangerous point where they can lift a stack up an economy, but this time, it's Imagine grabbing the first kill of the round here against Fugly. Market, we've already seen him do great work from around this position before. Picks up one, he's going to bail right out, ready to take the duel if they do push back in. Molotovs will deny the squeaky pressure for pushing itself out, so if they want to go for it, they've got to go in through A-main, but again, another Molotov. It's a little bit off axis, so they can still push through that if they want to, but still, at the moment, NRG doing a great job of holding back Winterfox again on these rounds, and look at Marky, perfect timing on the push. Rolls right out, shuts down Zeusy, overextends his grasp a little bit there, so Offnu will be able to trade him, but now we're down into an even 3v3. Smokes will block off the site, so NRG for now, they've got to hold back. They've let Winterfox in, and they'll have to wait a few seconds here before they go for the retake, also relying on the rotations too. They're already sitting at the gates though, so as soon as these smokes start to fade, you can count on them trying to push back in. Breezy also has a really good amount of utility left too. The first mine is going to go back, it'll burn APOC out. He's camping it, but that's not going to work out. Daps instantly headshots APOC. Now we're down to the 2 hanging out on site flash squad position here, and the CTs are slowly surrounding them. There's Daps with 1. It's up to Offnu, but look at him sticking inside of the smoke. They haven't been able to see him just yet. Rolls out, gets the first kill, but Peter thankfully is looking at the right position, so he will be able to trade it. And again, it's NRG up 8-1 now.
Yeah, and just one well-placed Molotov really won that round for NRG. And Winterfox, you know, that's twice now that they've gotten in good post-plant positions. That was a 3v3 on the A-bomb site. We saw it on pistol round and a 4v4 at the A-bomb site, and just the retake comes and they're not able to hold it off. They do get the bomb down, so they can buy here, but still 8-1. They're 0-4 on the season. It's not looking promising for Winterfox right now.
Not at this point. All of the Australian fans will have to invest in the Renegades here pretty shortly if things continue on this path. But for right now, again,
Renegades is 0-6 on the season.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for Australia overall here. They'll have to shape up for IM coming up soon. But Fugly moving in there. Marky with a second one. Now they're just getting blatantly aggressive here against them. I think we can see Imagine actually was doing a little bit of damage. Might have been able to dink Marky down a little bit here as we see him shooting him from the back panels. But after the loss of Zeusy and Raz, well, the reinforcements have arrived, but everyone from NRG is now backed up, and they're just going to be sitting outside.
Really smart. I mean, they just immediately go into an A retake, and they're like, hey, we have... There's almost no way they're going to lose this retake, even if they take the site, because they have so many Molotovs. If they just use their utility properly and intelligently, I don't know how Winterfox could win this.
And we can see the CTs now getting prepped to pick up positions to even deny them the plant at this point too, which since they're on 5 losing one isn't even going to be that big of a deal. But as Offnu moves in, he will be able to take down Peter. Nice headshot. Unfortunately, they allowed Peter to catch another one of their players, so now they're down to a 4v2, an even worse off situation. Fugly spotting Offnu there. APOC again picking up an additional kill, and a second one as well against Fugly. Finding some nice headshots here, which may give him a chance. Again, keep in mind how low Marky already was from being dinked through the garage. There's one more. Can we see the kills here from APOC to clutch it out? But no! He couldn't find that last shot against Marky, so Marky barely comes out on top in the end, but again, it's NRG up ahead 9-1.
Yeah, and I mean, again, though, you know, it's a 3v5 right off the bat, and it takes heroics, right, from APOC to almost win that round. And the only round they did win was, you know, Raz just really coming out and getting a lot of multi-frag kills in positions where you wouldn't have thought that they would win the round in the 3v5. So now they're back onto, you know, an eco, got a couple of eagles, and that hasn't worked out well for them at all. So 9-1, NRG looking to get double digits really early on.
The general strat, again, is the same exact thing that we've already been seeing from Winterfox, too. So NRG, I mean, if it's not obvious by this point, NRG have gotten the complete lockdown in terms of what Winterfox is doing. They seem to read the strat, you know, 10 to 15 seconds before the execute even comes in on almost every single round. So there's no surprises at all being thrown by Winterfox, and it's making it very, very easy for these CTs to shut it down 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, definitely. They're looking completely outmatched and outclassed here on this half, at least. Just anything NRG is doing has worked, you know. Anytime they pushed, any gun battles they took, any risks they took, all of them has worked.
Mark again playing back in the corner. Raz being able to try and spot out the player in the corner there, but not actually connecting onto the shot. And with still plenty of utility to be utilized here by NRG, mainly looking at Molotovs at this point. 3 of them stacked among the remaining 5 players who are still alive for the NRG side. Daps, not sure if he saw the legs from APOC swinging back in, but he is expecting mid-pressure. I'm not sure if he sees it to this large of a degree, but they almost stack up and line up. He only gets decent damage onto a few of them, though, but now he's going to be challenged. He's got to be careful of flank, too. He's being digged through it. Come on, Daps! We need to see some of these kills. Imagine finding one. Meanwhile, over there on the A-bomb site, Zeusy does take down Daps before he can get any kills. Thankfully, he wastes so much time. The Cavalry's here in the form of Peter. 1-2. He'll be taken down by Zeusy, but now he's alone in a 1v2. He has acquired an op, but they already know which way he's going, and in a moment here, he's going to have to watch out as shots from above will rain in, and Breezy will finish the job.
Yeah, and with bomb down, not much he could do there. NRG getting a little bit aggressive. Daps, you know, probably should have gotten a couple of those kills. I think he was trying to call for a flashbang from one of his teammates instead of really focusing on, like, being by himself and trying to frag out that way. You know, if one flashbang comes like in front of the sandbags, that's actually a really good setup. Sometimes you have somebody hiding sandbags. He waits for him to come towards the white box, and if he doesn't get mollied, especially on like a pistol round, and a team flashes in front of the sandbags, it's just really, really easy frags.
Well, again, at the beginning of the round here, Winterfox going for a very, very similar setup as we've already seen many, many times. And due to this, NRG will have no reason to fear them. In fact, for the first time on NRG side, I do believe in this half, we are going to see them try to go for a counter boost. However, it does appear as though Offnu may be looking out for this currently. He's sitting on the other edge of that, and Breezy will just bide his time, as there is still plenty of it left remaining here in the round still. Daps, as he does retreat there from boosting up his teammate, will fall back over into the corner. So run down the timer a little bit and defend here as well, even transitioning into the vents, just to try and make sure they don't go for some sort of a rush play through B. He's available there to add additional support, but all remains quiet on the battlefield, as Winterfox at the same time are also really not trying to do that much here. Breezy finally pushing through, and it gets him the kill just as Offnu had moved away. Unfortunately, backs into the Molotov, so he'll go down pretty quickly. And APOC, with a nice swing shot there, takes down Daps. Raz is also trying to push back in, but there is still pressure from the CTs coming in for A-Mate. They may have to change that soon, though, as there's going to be a whole lot coming up highway in a moment here. And Marky's your man to try and stop it. He gets one, he gets the second, shutting it all down again. And now it's down to Raz. We've already seen him put in these 1vx situations 4 or 5 times in the half, and I don't think he's been successful even once here. Offnu got pretty close the one time, but for as far as Raz is concerned, he's usually just got one and then been traded out the kill after that. So we'll see what he can do in this occurrence, as the bomb is also down back over there at the edge of highway. Not a whole lot of ground for him to work with here either that's safe. He'll just sneak his way back out, not watching that right side where both of NRG's players could peek him at any moment. And we are going to see Fugly possibly just getting it right there. Has the lineup, takes him down nice and easily. Man, it's NRG past double digits and up to 11 now.
Yeah, and again, man, Fugly was even indoor there, so if Marky even trades 1 for 1, they probably win that round pretty cleanly regardless. You know, when they're crossing sight, I'm sure Fugly would kill 1 and probably stay alive. So NRG just, you know, even though the boost comes out and he times it perfectly, that's the thing. A lot of people, when they get counter boosted, they just immediately peek and just hope somebody's not watching it. But how Breeze played it is how I think you should, right? You just kind of wait and wait and wait until you hit that right timing where you're pretty sure you can get out there undetected, maybe when they're, you know, start moving towards their execute. Pop flashing comes out, Zeusy dies right away. Another 3v5. We saw this happen earlier, and now imagine in the door. I think even though that's not the best battle for you to take when you're in the door like that, it's pretty CT favored. I think you have to take it, because I really think that's one of the only ways you win the round. Even if you only kill him 30% of the time, you know, if you do get both those kills, you know, you definitely win the round. round. And now what do you do, right? You're relying on APOC just running into B with 2 players there. You know, I think sometimes you got to just take those gambles and those chances.
And now the last 2 Ts here are going to be completely split up. It's down to 1 now. And Marky with a well-timed nade will just finish things off. NRG continue to press forward, having a complete lock on what Winterfox is doing in every single round, and even being so bold as to just being able to push back in here and handle all of this aggression from Winterfox without any problem whatsoever. Everything, as you said a couple rounds back, anything that NRG tries, it works.
Yeah, and you know, JW was talking about it a little bit. I watched, like, he did a little bit of a Q&A, and he was talking about, you know, Device and when he opts, how, you know, like takes a lot of like high percentage, low risk, high reward type shots. As Winterfox looks like they're just going to do a fast A and just go into like, never mind. Marky whiffs the shots. The highway smoke is up, and now it's another post plant. And you know what? They have 4 Molotovs during this post plant. 4 Molotovs. So they should be able to delay them for a very, very long time and make this really difficult for NRG.
Flashbangs of overall that's coming out. A few Molotovs being deployed now. 1 over to highway. Daps is connecting some damage into the player and AMA in there. Again, just pre-firing at the moment, though. Still with 2 Molotovs to use on the Winterfox side. So they've isolated off some of the good angles for right now. No sign of a flank or anything like that from NRG either, which they do have APOC keeping his eyes on. So they'll be falling back for the time being to wait that out, but they still have to worry about even more than being deployed. Offnu, though, he does get pushed out by one of the CT's mollies. Breezy will catch that kill, but now they're very low on time. Unfortunately, Imagine whips there with the big rifle, and oh my goodness, NRG finding so many of these kills, but they're still low on time, and there's still 1 Molotov left that goes over the bomb. They try to stick it, but it's not going to work out. Finally, a round for Winterfox goes up on the board, but no one stays alive at the end of it.
Yeah, it's okay, because it is the last round, and they're going to be able to fully buy here. Both teams really are. I think PTR, he should be able to get a drop from one of his teammates. But what I was saying, Blue, is you know, it's like, for instance, on B on Mirage, right? If somebody works 1v1 at B on Mirage, right, and they take that battle, maybe they're not favored, right? But if they win that battle, they almost certainly win the round. You know, like, that's why you see somebody like JW work B on Mirage like so aggressively, right? As, you know, we see a 4v5 already. Breeze pushes B, highway push comes out. Pete watching it from the boxes. But it kind of set me in like a mindset where I'm like, that's how you kind of think about like those impact level kills, you know? Where it's like JW working B on Mirage on T side. If he gets that kill, they probably win the round, right? Because he's going to take the side, he's going to make it really easy on his teammates and things of that nature. And also that cat follow-up kill is pretty easy.
Offnu now being spotted here. Nice grab onto the head. Even gets the second one, too. Fugly and Daps both are going to go down to Offnu here. Now Breezy, though, waits for on the outside to lend his wrath in this occurrence. And for Zeus, now it's falling down to him in the 1v2 here to try and sneak out from A main. He does have it covered up by smoke, but that's immediately going to be fading. Still, the timing works out to where he's not immediately spotted up by Marky as he kind of fell back, but he's going to see him now. Misses the shots, though, so it does give him access to the site. Plant's not going to mean anything, though, in the 15th round. He needs to follow through and actually win it out. So I think he's actually a bit hungry to try and find this kill before he goes for it. But all of this wasted time, and now he's going to have a flank looking up from behind him, and he's currently not even checking for it. So it's, at the end of the day, it's going to be a free kill for Breezy, and there you have it. 13-2 is going to be the halftime score here. NRG absolutely dominating Winterfox. We'll see if there's any hope at all of a comeback when we do return, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, we're over to a break, so stick with us. We'll be back in just a few moments.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
And welcome back again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of our first map of the day here. It's NRG taking on Winterfox, and unfortunately for Winterfox, they're not putting up much of a fight at all. Just fresh off of their T-side at half on Cash, they only claimed 2 rounds, and for the most part, they tried to do pretty much the same thing on every single round. It was just like the default setup that led into a pretty straightforward execution pretty much every single time. Yeah,
I think they had an impressive mid-take that we saw, you know, the Molly sandbags. I believe there was a Molotov event with Smoke Z, and it was kind of mid-roundish, and it opened up a lot of things for them, and I thought that was impressive, but besides that, I mean, everything was very telegraphed. You didn't have people dodging flashes when they needed to, and NRG was just a couple steps ahead in almost every facet of that game. We saw crisp rotations coming out of them. We saw them pushing, you know, at the right times with the right calculated decisions and risks being made. Breeze 20 and 7. I mean, really everybody on NRG did their part. They didn't really have anybody, you know, not really pull their weight. I think Marky especially did pretty good. Probably the stream delay might need to up it, you know? From an extra 10 to 15 seconds.
Nice reference.
Yeah. But no, he played really well at A. You saw, like, usually your A player, I think playing A on Cash is the hardest spot on this map, personally. And one of the reasons for that is just, like, it's really hard to pick your spots, right? Because if you play too passive, sometimes they Molotov you out, right? If you play, you know, behind the red bin, sometimes you get spammed through the smoke, or they throw a nice pop flash and take the site. It's so difficult to play. And you see what he's doing is he's pushing himself a lot more towards like the forklift, and then he kind of avoids a lot of that, and he takes that early action. And then if that early action isn't there, those opportunistic kills aren't there, then he could probably fall back towards site and kind of give up the site cross, but maybe play around the red bin and then kill him while they're running towards quad or something like that. So he's playing a little bit differently, a little bit non-conventionally, I would say, than someone like MBK. We might have seen him play it, but it's working out well for him, and he had a lot of impact kills there, pushing A main, killing those 2 guys when they were coming up highway, and things of that nature.
It was a very mobile play stun. I think, you know, we especially towards the beginning, he was dying actually a lot, but every single time he would go down, even though it seemed like, you know, he was always out of the action for the main fight, he would still find, you know, somewhere between like 1 and 3 kills before he even went down. So he was almost always catching the necessary trades to allow for his teammates to just roll right in and shut them down. Anyway, we're in the midst of the pistol, and it's pretty fast from NRG. Imagine an APOC, though, immediately shutting down 2. They're going to look to change it, but they failed to account for the truck angle. Zusi knocking out another one. At the end of the day, falls to Marky, but he cannot pull it off alone. APOC chimes in for 3 total there, and it's Winterfox back into the action immediately.
Yeah, and that was basically a perfect crossfire. I mean, they're coming up highway, but they have no smoke to really cover off any of the angles. And when you have somebody forklift and you have somebody white truck and quad, it's like that triangle, right? Anytime you could have like a triangle in Counter-Strike, if you think about like the upper bomb site on Nuke, right? If you have somebody heaven, you have somebody maybe top hut or silo or Mustang, and then somebody like opposite vent. When you have that like triangle setup, it's really, really good, and that's like the general setup. If you could have that where you have that 3-pronged defense, that's usually what you want anytime people hit a site on Cash and a lot of other similar maps as well. And the reason you do that is because you have that mid player who's able to rotate. If you have him going towards B, even if you have like a double site setup, it's not exactly that triangle, right? But you know, you have those 3 guys there, right? If they come A, he's at the white truck like they had, then they have like that triangle, right? And usually if you could do that, you could usually hold up pushes or at least have people in position to play off each other really well.
Well, NRG on their 4 spot here into the second round. We can see Breezy actually being allowed a lot of free control mid, and Zusi swings wide. Again, he didn't actually spot any of those players going over boost, so I don't think he was fully aware of just how much presence there already was from NRG being established there. Now they are going to try to take A control. Problem is, though, again, this crossfire is here, and it's very menacing. APOC with 2. Imagine swinging around to pick these guys off. It's left to Dapt. He's prioritizing the plant. I think he's going to get it. Yeah, he'll be able to do that at the very least, but he definitely won't be picking up anything else.
Yeah, they do get the bomb down off that 4v5, but nothing else. Imagine did a really good job with that MP9 being really mobile and playing off the player at white truck. I believe it was APOC.
Yeah.
So they're able to take that, and 13-4. NRG is definitely going to save here. And we'll see. Maybe Winterfox can get a bit of a comeback going.
Fortunately, with the deficit they put themselves in from the first half, it's going to be very, very tough to even come close to allowing for the comeback here. As soon as NRG gets on the board, they're 2 rounds away. You know, 1 round. They're just 2 rounds away overall here from being able to guarantee overtime. And from that point, Winterfox would have to be flawless wherever they are on the scoreboard.
I mean, you just take it 1 round at a time, and I mean, they could do it because, hypothetically speaking, right, if they win the next gun round, right? And even if they lose a round, if they just lose it the right way and at the right time, where they, you know, just force them to save and do like a double save or something like that, then they could definitely come back. I mean, this round should just be a slaughter for Raz. Gets 3 kills right away, pulls out the Tech 9, can't wallbang this box. So as Pete runs, he dies to Offnu. And Raz gets a nice 4K. But you definitely can, like it's not insurmountable. I just am not really a believer in it just because of what we saw and how we saw Winterfox playing on the T side and kind of what we've seen from them this season, you know. But Cash, especially on T side, you could have some crazy comebacks. I mean, we've seen it time and time again.
Well, now the real test will begin as NRG do get their big investments going here. 5 AKs across the board with pretty much full utility for every single player too. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get the off on a Peter just yet. Zusi already being lit a little bit here, back over towards mid. APOC though boosting up, and he can see just over top of the smoke. He's found one. Unfortunately, he overstays his welcome, and that's where Marky will be in position here just inside of A-Mate to trade on his dead teammate. He picks up APOC, knocks him down, and we're back down into a 4v4.
Yeah, and I think those are actually really easy CT kills to get, but I think you want somebody, like, I think you want a wide swing really hard out of that smoke if you want to kill the person in the back of A main, and I think if you do that, you usually have a pretty big advantage. And I don't really know if that setup's good, like having 2 in the back of A main there. They smoke off Z, and they have double on the boost. Here comes the volley from Raz, though. I wonder if that's going to delay. It does. That completely stopped their strat whatsoever. I think they could still take a mid control from bottom mid pretty easily. I mean, there's nobody there contesting it from Winterfox, but it kind of delayed everything that they wanted to do. So we'll see if an A main pop flash comes out or something like that to clear that side of the map, because they don't have much control. Imagine's pushing there. Offnu gets the pop flash B instead. Gets 1 kill, dies to Breeze, and now Raz needs to get a kill and probably stay alive. Misses Breeze on the cross, and now this makes it really tough. He's going to give up the site. It's going to be a 3v3 retake. They have that 1 molly on Imagine, and they really need him to place that very, very well and place it in a position where his teammates can actually capitalize off of it. And I think that's going to be the key this round. If he just wastes it and he doesn't use it, like I think if he uses it right now and they don't capitalize on it, it's not going to do anything, and I think they're going to lose the round. See, the Molotov comes out, but they have nobody to push up. They're not in position to do anything, so it's just a waste. It's just purely a waste, and those are one of the differences that we've seen so far in this game from NRG and Winterfox.
After the Molotov was tossed, it seems like Raz is trying to move away from this a little bit here, but now throwing up the flashbang to try and get them into the bomb site here, but no progress being made. Marky immediately destroying both the players to try to push out from Tree Room, and even combos in for the 3rd one on Raz as well. Nothing being found by Winterfox at all in that retake, and it's NRG now up to 14.
But little things like that make a huge difference. I mean, if they did that Molotov properly and they waited until they actually wanted to execute, they could have maybe, you know, gotten that site player kill if they bring 2 out heaven, right? 1 guy goes on the side, 1 guy keeps watching B main like that, and then the CT spawn player goes after they get that Molotov kill, you know, to flush that guy out. Then they could win the round. But you know, wasting a Molotov like that is so huge in that situation, as now they're trying to get aggressive A main again. Maybe it looks like they're doing the Shroud boost actually. So APOC gets up there, takes 50 damage. I think they're probably decently okay with that. And NRG just doing a default. But yeah, we saw when NRG was retaking A, right? Every time they were retaking A, what did they do? They waited, they waited, they waited. They saw their players were in position to capitalize off their Molotovs. And each time they mollied forklift, what happened? They got that player flushed out and they got that kill. Essentially, you know, obviously this was on the B bomb site, but essentially that guy just Molotov forklift, right? And then they had nobody to kill him. So it was just a waste, right? Because the smokes were up or whatever, and he just goes away to safety. That's really what happened. And those are the differences we're seeing in these two teams right now, right? Those tiny things like that are going to make all the world a difference at this level of play.
Well, for right now, again, NRG, as you mentioned previously, already getting some great damage on APOC there, who tried to put himself on the Shroud boost spot, but down to 11 HP, not going to be the best position to play for there when he's that low. So he's had to fall back, and he's currently playing on the site with Raz. But for the NRG guys, they won't even be executing over towards A. It is just going to be Breezy, probably throwing like a red herring over here with a flashbang or something like that, as everybody else goes in for the B deployment here. Offnu getting ready for it on the bomb set, but he's the only one here. The closest reinforcements he has is Zusi, but he's back outside of heaven currently. He's going to wrap all the way up on top. Good flashbang, though. Restricts the players in checkers right now, buys him a couple of extra seconds, but he himself needs to prepare. The flashbang goes back in, blinds 2 of them, hits the first one. Does he see for more? No, Fugly's going to trade. Offnu chimes in for a second, and the immediate headshot on a Fugly as well. He's holding this off right now. Now Peter trying to push back in, but look at the time. There's only 10 seconds. Peter looking for the jumping headshot, but no, won't find it. Swings around. Rafnu will shut him down. Breezy finding one more, but time has run out, and as he runs up to the site, he'll find an additional kill. It looks like he'll be able to survive till the end of the round at least, if he still keeps his gun power, but it is a victory for Winterfox.
Yeah, it is. They take a lot of casualties there, only one alive, but I mean, that was a great sight hold from Offnu. No Molotov came down on the default spot, and he waits and he peeks his timings like very, very well. The pop flash came out to blind everybody on that left side. He takes a kill, gets a kill on the right while they're looking towards heaven, and his teammates are kind of fighting him. And hits a really nice shot on the Fugly crossing headshot. But that was a great hold by Offnu.
Well, now the money, unfortunately, will reset itself for NRG. So they do just decide to empty out into whatever they can here onto the 6th round on the half. And it's not going to be much, as we can see. 2 AKs to work with, full armor for the entire team, and a semi-decent amount of utility. But the other 3 are just going to be working with pistols here. And Marky, sitting back, already has gotten himself past the cross in A main there, looking to see if he can spot anyone from Winterfox that may have wanted to get a bit aggressive to capitalize on this, but it's not to be seen. Winterfox, again, are playing pretty safe with the exception of over there towards B, where they have pushed into those halls. There's no presence from the T's, so they will be able to get this intel. Now we can see the mid player also moving back in to support this. Imagine, though, getting hit by a Molotov down to 40 HP, and not only that, too, but Breezy, he's gotten the first kill. The CTs will have a pretty early flank being opened up. Nice shot from Zeusy as well, but again, trades galore as Flugly rolls right in there, finds Imagine, gets a decent amount of damage on the Zeusy, but as he realizes, no, he doesn't. Zeusy's just going to roll right up past the forklift there and take him back down. So we're even again, down to a 3v3. Peter as well, still only on a P250, so he may not be able to support as much as he would like from back in this position, as he's not been able to find an upgrade just yet. But Winterfox running a bit low on time, and no, they don't even expect Peter to be in A main, so he sneaks one off for free. Offnu did trade onto Marky, though, so we're down to just Peter and Daps, and now they're going to chase down Peter, but his teammate did so much damage that it's easy pickings for Peter. Raz is the only one left here alive now, but Peter's armed with a rifle. He'll get that kill into Daps, but does he have enough time? He'll throw the smoke on the ground and just try to go for the defuse. Did Peter see him? Yes, he does. He'll finish it off with a headshot, and it's NRG up to 15.
Wow, and that A main pop flash, it came out, but it was behind the box, so it wasn't a good one. You want to throw it higher in the air so it can get Pete in that situation. And then the player turns to the left. He thinks maybe he's on the left there. As soon as they got that kill on the forklift guy, when Zeusy got that, they should have been able to leverage that into a round win. They just need to be a little bit more patient, though. Whenever you're pushing through smokes like that and you're kind of forcing things when you have time, and that's something that I think we've seen from Winterfox in a couple different retakes. Don't force things. Wait it out. Wait their smokes out. And then finally, when you're in position, then strike. You know, you have 40 seconds now. It's a long time for that retake to occur. Now they're on pretty much just an abysmal buy. I mean, you got 3 P250s, a scout, and a mag 7. So this is going to be really difficult for Winterfox to win. They don't have head armor on anybody but APOC. I mean, Raz is going bare bones, just mag 7, nothing else. So, you know, NRG just taking it slow, seeing if they see any aggression. Big nade comes out on Raz, takes over half his health off. And they're just waiting. PTR gets a kill at middle, kind of working in a little bit. And just, you know, just seeing if they give him anything. And now they're just going to group up towards B and probably take this round pretty clean.
Yeah, and for Winterfox here, we'll try to hold Raz again, as you mentioned, already down to half of his HP, so in theory should be a pretty easy target to take down around the corner, but for the reaction times right with a shotgun, he may still be able to pick off 1 or 2 kills, depending on how ready for this he is. In the meantime, back over on the site, you do have Offnu waiting, but all he has is a P250. He goes down very quickly. Raz, though, is doing the best he can with his 45 HP. He brought one down very low. That's Fugly at 23. Also killed another one. Fugly will finish the job, though, against Raz here now. Oh, calm down. That's your teammate. But still 4v2 in the situation. And we can see the scout from Zeusy trying to work his way into heaven, but there's really no safe route for him to get back into this site. They've gotten the bomb in. It has yet to cross. Keep that in mind, as APOC is watching out for that, and Fugly's hands is rather low. Zeusy actually finding Dap, surprisingly, up from heaven there, but in the chaos of that, they do allow Fugly to get past the tree room there and get himself up onto the platform to look for a plant. Still no upgrades for either of the remaining CTs, as they are stuck behind the heaven and tree room walls currently. And APOC, since he has a little bit of a hole in this smoke to look through, I think he's waiting as well to see if anybody else from NRG goes for the cross up to the platform. Won't be happening, but again, they feed Zeusy another peek. So now Peter looking to trade it. Him and Marky will finish the job off, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It will be NRG pushing forward, and they'll close out the match. 16-6 is going to be the final score. The Australians try their best to make a comeback on CT side, but again, they had forged their fate already in the first half, going down 13-2.
Great debut of NACS for Vendetta to witness there. I'm sure he's he's chomping at the bits to analyze this one.
So with that said, we're going to immediately send it back over and, yeah, get Vendetta's thoughts on his first taste of NACS here.
How about them chomping on the bits right there? What do you think about that NACS that you did just see?
Oh, that was NACS, true to its form, I guess. In many ways, we saw a lot of things, not all of it that pretty, I'll admit, but we did see some positives that I'd probably want to focus on instead, because otherwise I might lose my mind. But no, like for the better part of it, I think it was pretty evident that NRG just were the better team overall into this, and which is kind of what we alluded to in the pregame as well.
I mean, NRG coming out in that first half, ending the half 13-2 is CT. I mean, obviously it's pretty damning there if you are that Winterfox lineup. I mean, they were able to put together a few rounds towards the end, but a few rounds too little, right? It wasn't coming together for them.
And I mean, if they don't get that pistol on the start of the second half, then you look at, well, obviously, I think it looks as ugly as it was, pretty much, for Winterfox, because there wasn't really too much to take out of it from that. I think for the better part of it, it was one round that kind of worked out for them, and that was the first buy round they ever got to.
No, absolutely. And we're going to take a look at that here in a second. But, I mean, at this point, NRG takes the first pistol, loses first gun, and then after that, they just run away with it.
Yeah.
It's really all in their court.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to the fact that we never really saw Winterfox in a situation where they could actually, one, take map control, or two, set up for an execute.
Let's take a look at round 4 right now. Walk us through this one.
Yeah, well, there you have it. So pretty much you're seeing one of the things that actually worked for Winterfox. They're going to take delayed control over mid here, and you can see Peter, who had pretty much played passively the entire time through mid, plays passively, so they're able to get a lot of ground in mid without having to use too much utility. You can also see the 2 delayed smokes that they put up from outside of Garage that lands towards CT spawn, which cuts them off, which again allows for APOC to walk up towards highway completely uncontested, and he's going to be able to pick off rotations as they come running through the smokes, because NRG in that kind of a scenario, because it's early rounds, it's the first buy round, oftentimes CTs are somewhat limited on economy. Not necessarily the case for NRG right there, but oftentimes if you don't have too much utility to play for the retake like we saw in the later stages of the game, you don't want to miss the control of the bomb site without getting anything in return for it. So you can't be as patient as we saw NRG be at the later stages, where they constantly had Molotovs to clear out forklift or delay the bomb plan for even further to make the smokes dissipate from the Australian side. So that was like one of the very, very few things that worked out for Winterfox. Yeah,
I mean, no doubt NRG's retake game was on point. Obviously, when their economy is, much more advanced than, say, the Australians, it's pretty much, it's there. They're going to come in and they're going to just dominate, especially when they go in with confidence like they had been.
Yeah, and especially because, and this is something Daze was alluding to as well, the fact that Winterfox had a pretty passive style or passive approach to which how they wanted to play their T side. It seems like they wanted to rely heavily on having a lot of utility, which again doesn't allow them to have as many buys. So you don't get enough opportunities to have those swing rounds that he talked about, which can once again turn the game in your favor. So Winterfox pretty much allowed NRG to get up to a stage where they have full money control. They're not even going to be affected if they actually lose a weapon around here or there later on in the first half, and that was a big issue for Winterfox. I think they didn't take enough risks, and they relied too heavily on having executes with full utility when that obviously didn't work out.
Well, obviously didn't come together there for Winterfox, but they will get another chance here as we do see them take on NRG in another map. We're going to go to Kabul when we come back from this break. Stay tuned.